Well, hey, friends, I'm changing, okay? I'm growing, I'm morphing, I'm changing. I feel like we are due for a chat about just some updated ways of thinking that I'm kind of going through when it comes to makeup and just kind of my thoughts on what I do here and the amount of makeup that comes into my life and decluttering and the whole cycle of a haul to a declutter and all of my thoughts and kind of my trajectory going forward. So we're going to talk about all of that while we are trying a whole full face of products from my stash of things that I feel like I'm not sure I want to keep. It's kind of the makeup on the chopping block, right? These are the things that I'm pretty sure I'm going to declutter. I'm not sure. And there are some things that surprised me, I will say. So we're gonna get into all of that. So I want to thank Express for sponsoring this part of the video. I wanna do a little try on haul of some pieces I recently picked out from Express. I was so excited to work with them because I was allowed to just pick out whatever caught my eye, and I really was in need of some kind of cute holiday outfit, a little bit of a refresh for that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to show you what I picked out. I'm trying it on for the first time with you guys. So we're gonna talk through what I'm loving, some thoughts I have. Express is one of those stores that I remember shopping at. Like the earliest I ever shopped there was I think like high school and especially college, because I always felt like they had really cute pieces, especially if I was going out or if it was a special occasion, but they also had really cute pieces for every day. So I feel like what I picked out really is a reflection of all of those things. It's definitely a mix. So I will have everything linked below in the order that I try it on. I'll also include my sizing information of like, do I think you should size up? Did I size up? What size did I get, etc., to help you if you were thinking about purchasing any of these pieces. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, first up is this outfit. It is two separate pieces. I love how stretchy they both are. I also love the sleeves. How adorable is this? I can't get over it. It gives me Clueless vibes in the best way. I feel like this is one of those perfect, comfortable holiday outfits because it looks elevated and dressed up. I just paired it with some black tights and some little black booties, but it's simple, it's elegant, it's chic. Most importantly, it's stretchy. So really, really loving this outfit. And I also appreciate that you can buy these separately. So if you need very differing sizes, depending on your top versus bottom, sizing wise, that's nice. Okay, I kept this shirt on because I feel like if you didn't want to be matchy-matchy, this would be another cute outfit idea to get the top from that set. And then this skirt, love how it's kind of asymmetrical. However, it's a skirt. That is so exciting to me. So I just feel like this is a really cute combo. These are not stretchy. They definitely are more form-fitted. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'll have it below, but I'm almost positive I sized up for these. I usually size up for bottoms. But I love the tweed look. I feel like this would be cute all winter long. It'd be cute in the fall as well. I feel like a tweed skirt like this, or skirt, is one of those staple pieces that you will use in so many different ways. So big fan of this look as well. Okay. First of all, love this top. It looked really cute online and I feel like it's even cuter in person. I love the two little bows. They had this lighter pink color. They also had, I want to say a black and maybe one other color. Super cute. It's cropped, or I should say it hits like right at the top, like kind of right at the waist, but it's loose and comfy enough. And then these jeans. Okay, let me show you. So the jeans themselves are a little bit, well, first of all, they're definitely stretchy, but I love the kind of loose look they have. They're not overly loose. They're comfy. You can, as I always say, you can like bend down them. And then they also are not dragging on the ground. They're a little more cropped. So I paired them with just some white booties. These are one of my favorite pairs. And I feel like they hit just fine. I feel like jeans are one of the hardest things to find ones that fit you in a way you like, that are actually comfortable. So I'm always excited to find a pair of jeans that actually are comfy. Like, oh my gosh, yay, yay. Ooh, I love a good lacy see-through top. This is something that, you know, trends come and go, but for me, this is a look I have always thought was so beautiful, and I'm not really sure why, but I do. So I've just got a black camisole underneath, but I feel like it is so pretty. Again, it's plenty of space in it, so it's not like super, super tight, but I just think that look is so beautiful. I don't know what it is. And then I paired it with these black pants, but they're like super, again, stretchy, but they're this kind of like washed look or like metallic look to them where they almost look leathery, but they're absolutely not. They're super comfy. There's no pockets on the back. I like that look on myself. And then it is slightly flared at the bottom. Again, not super long. I can't deal with the pants dragging on the ground. I just can't do it. So I'm a fan. I would rather them be a little bit shorter and they can look really cute with boots than the opposite. So this is the look altogether. Honestly, this, I am a fan of this. I feel like this is a really, really cute fall, winter, especially winter time, going out, little date night look, but it's still comfy. You know what I mean? Okay, next up is this cute little loungy number. It's got pockets, first of all. It is super duper comfy. It's got longer sleeves, which I like in this kind of a thing. And then some buttons. It is a little cropped in the front and then a little longer. It's not wildly cropped, and like I feel like I'm pulling my pants up to here anyway, so it's not, anyway. They have other colors as well, but this one is definitely comfy. It's warm. I wish you could feel it because it's kind of got this like waffly look to it, but it's more brushed. Like it's a little bit softer, almost flannel feeling. Do you know what I mean? So definitely gonna be lounging around in this little number this winter for sure. So if you are interested in any of the pieces I just tried on for you from Express, I will link everything in the order I mentioned it down in the description box, as well as in a pinned comment. I know that's sometimes easier to find. And if you are in the comments, it should be at the top. And if you click, I think it says show more or see more, then you will see all of the links. I'll also include my sizing information if that's helpful to you, whether I think it's true to size, if you should size up, size down, etc. Thank you so much, Express, for sponsoring this part of the video. All right, so my face may look wet because I actually already started filming this part and I had to start over because the product I was using looked so bad on the skin. So why don't we start with that? This is the Physicians Formula Diamond Perfector. It kind of looks like a toned down version. I'll show you in my hand. Of like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It's meant to be a BB cream, but it doesn't really give much coverage. I tried to layer it twice. It ended up just pilling up and I had nothing underneath it except for like a layer of Bioderma, which I use every day before makeup. And it's non-rinse, by the way. I had some people asking like, are you supposed to, it's non-rinse. It even says it on the bottle. Anyway, my point is it looks pretty on the skin, but it doesn't provide much coverage if that's what you're looking for. So I thought, well, maybe I'll use it kind of as a slightly glowy primer, but because it was pilling up and looking nasty all over the face, basically I decided right away, okay, this is one I can declutter. I wanted to talk a little bit about while we're doing this, about my journey with makeup and how I view it a little bit differently than I used to when it comes to makeup that's staying in my life versus not. So we'll kind of talk about that subject while trying out these products, and I'll kind of try to update you as we're going on if I'm gonna keep it or not. So we are gonna try the Estee Lauder Skin Tint Serum. I swear to you, I recently retried this and I remembered feeling like, okay, I think I don't love it. This is gonna be the final straw, we're gonna see. So when I started my channel, I was only doing drugstore makeup. And I was in college. I did have a job. I was nannying. It paid what it paid. You know, it didn't pay super great. So I was really penny pinching. Anytime I wanted to buy a product and like try it on my channel, I had to be really, really picky about what I was buying. Where's my brush? There it is. And how much it costs, etc. Well, once I graduated and became a teacher, I had some more disposable income. At the time, was I living with my parents? I wasn't married yet. I was living with my parents again. So like I paid for certain things of my own, like my car, my insurance, my gas, my cell phone. But like living expenses, I was living with my mom and dad, which I was so grateful for at the time. I was much younger. So I had some income that I could spend on money. And that's when I started to dip my toes in the water of trying out more high-end things. Again, being very, very choosy about what I was buying because I only had so much money I could spend on this. And at the time it had become a job, but it wasn't really paying very much. So fast forward a few years, I start to receive some PR, and that helped me grow so much. I could try so many more products without having to pay for every single one. And I was so, and still am, so grateful for that, because without that, I mean, I was severely limited on how much I could possibly purchase and try out and compare. I was starting to do dupes videos at the time. And so it was a really exciting time for me, I will say that. And that lasted, quite a few years. I finally started to make a little bit more money on YouTube. And so I was able to also purchase more makeup on my own and be choosier about that. So fast forward a couple more years. I've been doing this 12 years. I think I recently said 15 and I realized Tyler was like, you have not been doing it 15 years. I'm like, you're right. Where did I pull that number from? It's been like 12, I think going on 13. I don't know. Anyway, my point is now I've been doing this quite a while. Let's say I'm making the years up, but let's say I've been doing it like 7 years at this point. And I start to get to this point of kind of exhaustion with makeup. Not that I was tired of makeup and trying it, but that I had so much makeup, and so much was coming in PR, I didn't feel like I had control over my makeup. And I know that sounds so bizarre maybe to some of you guys to hear, and I'm making it sound dramatic. It's not dramatic, it's just, it is what it is. And so I kind of, you may recall a few years ago, took a step back. I removed myself from a lot of PR at that time and kind of really looked at what I was doing and thought about like, okay, I have to declutter this. And I'd started to do declutters kind of regularly. Well, that's when I started to really get more cutthroat and say, okay, even if it's good, if it's not something I reach for all the time, or it's not the perfect shade, or it's not the whatever, I don't need to keep it. So I got pretty good at that. And if you've watched any of my declutters over the years, I think you would agree, I've gotten pretty good at the declutter piece of it. But one thing I think I hadn't really learned to control was how to be choosier about what makeup was coming into my life. So like I said, I had removed myself from a lot of PR lists. I don't know how much, but like, let's say I removed myself from like 60% of the lists I was on. One little sidebar, if you're curious about PR, is that a lot of the PR boxes you're seeing people receive are not necessarily from the brand itself. They're from whatever PR firm the brand has hired. And so there are certain firms that are huge that they basically handle the PR for a lot of beauty brands. And some of these firms send really elaborate, huge, in my humble opinion, pretty wasteful boxes. And then some are way more mindful, and I so appreciate that. And they're in smaller boxes, the bare minimum of what you need, recyclable packaging, like I always appreciate that. Anyway, we live in a weird time, don't we? Quick sidebar, the Estee Lauder skin tint, it is pretty, but my thing is when I put this on top of anything else, and I'm just now realizing in this moment, I had nothing, I didn't put any sunscreen on. But that's exactly how I feel. When I put this on top of sunscreen, I always feel like it's like, So I'm gonna see how this kind of wears throughout the day and decide, I think at that point, at the end of the day, when I'm taking my makeup off, like what does it look like? If it looks horrendous like I remember it looking, this one's gonna go. But I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. And then this is the IRL Filter Finish Revolution is the brand concealer. Do they still sell this? It's a very thin concealer. If that is what you're into, you might like this. I typically like one that has a little bit more like almost creamy tackiness to it, which is why I think every time I use this, I don't think it's terrible. Like it covered what I would need to cover. But I think I prefer this kind of concealer like almost on the face, like in those areas, because it is so thin. So I'm on the fence about that one. And quite honestly, I mean, it's getting kind of old. I might put it in my vanity, try to use up a little bit more of it in the next few weeks and then be done with it. Where are we in my little timeline here? Hopefully you guys are interested in this. I don't know. I just figured instead of just trying this makeup, because I have a feeling a lot of these are going to be duds. Not duds. I mean, I've tried them all, but you know what I mean? I figured we'd actually talk about some stuff. And I feel like this is a good precursor to my declutter series I'm just about to do. And I want to talk about the future of what I'm hoping for my future when it comes to makeup. We'll get to that. I felt kind of out of control, like I said, of like I had no control over my collection. There was still, even being removed from that many PR lists, there was still way too much coming in. And on top of that, I was still wanting to buy the products I wanted to try. So I would be on Sephora or Ulta's website. I was hardly ever in store, I feel like. But I would be on their sites like every month ordering stuff. And I'd be doing a haul or whatever and sharing that with you. And I do pride myself. I will say this. One thing I want to pat myself on the back for is I do think I do a good job of follow through. I really do try hard because I didn't used to be as good at this. I really do try hard to give you that follow through review eventually in like a speed reviews video or in an empties video. So I work hard on trying it and then trying it for a while and then letting you know, like, is it worth your money or not? That's what I view part of my job here to be, trying it for you guys. So in that respect, I've always known I will always consume more makeup than a typical consumer would. And I know some of you guys, you're in like a weird bubble where you consume YouTube videos about makeup. So you are also naturally going to consume most likely more makeup than the average consumer would. I've always known that, and I kind of accepted that as, well, that's just the way it is. So fast forward to really the past year, and maybe the past 2 years, I finally got to a point where I was like, I need to just remove myself from all PR. And about a year and a half ago, I did a video where I'll have to link it below. I'm trying to remember what I called it, but basically I had this drawer of PR makeup, and that was makeup that was unopened and basically just sitting there going bad. Stuff that I thought there was a chance I might want to use in a future video or that I might want to try. And so basically when I would receive PR at the time, I would go through it and say, okay, this is stuff I know I won't try, whether it's the color or it's just a brand I don't like or the formula, whatever. Those would be donated. And then I would have the stuff that I'd think, well, I'll keep in case I do actually want to try. Well, that drawer just kept getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And finally in that video, I basically emptied the entire thing out, donated it all. I think I kept like a handful, literally a handful of products. And guess what? I've never missed any of it. Like, it was just one of those things, you know how you have those things you keep like backups or whatever for that just in case. And then that just in case time usually never comes. Anyway, that was when I started sending as many emails and DMs as I could to all these different brands to try to basically get off of all PR lists. But then, like I said, there are a couple brands I'm still on the list just because I like the brands. They're not overboard. Okay, you still there? So this is the Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. It's not bad. Yeah, that concealer is really creasing. I know a lot of people don't like putting concealer on their eyes. I just do. I just do. I always have, and I like it to be a little blanked out, but that was a lot of creasing, maybe more than what most do. The one thing I like about this Anastasia pencil is that I do feel like you always have to warm it up and kind of sharpen it when you want to use it, which is kind of annoying. It's just good though. So this one is one that was just kind of buried in my collection. I do think I'm going to keep and actually use. So this is the shade medium brown if you are curious. Okie doke. So we've removed ourselves from most PR lists. That part, I felt like, okay, I'm in control of this. This is what I want. But now, like in the past 6 months, I've really thought about it and I was like, okay, really the past year, I want to slow down how much makeup I'm buying for my job, for my channel, because I love makeup. That has not changed. And I have gone back and forth on like, do I want to just stop talking about makeup on my channel? But every time I think about it, I'm like, no, I still love makeup and still use and enjoy it. So like that part of me hasn't changed. But what has changed is that I am picky. I'm incredibly picky. I was talking about, Amanda Z did a video recently kind of talking about like decluttering mindset and things like that. And that was one thing she talked about. And I was like, that hit the nail on the head for me. I'm like, that's what it is. I am picky and I should be picky. We should all be picky because in this day and age, you can get incredible makeup at varied price points. And there's really no reason to settle. And I guess that's it. And right now, I mean, I have found so many products that work so well for me. I could just stop trying products altogether and be content. But again, part of what I love to do is to try makeup for you guys and be that guinea pig. But to be that guinea pig for the longest time, I felt like I had to try every new launch and everything that, you know what I mean, ever comes out from my favorite brands and see if I can find dupes. And while dupes or alternatives, you know what I mean, will still be a part of my channel for sure, I don't have to try every new launch. And that is what I've tried to come to terms with this past year, is releasing myself from that pressure of feeling like I need to know about every foundation that drops. I need to know about every drugstore launch. I need to know, when I really don't. And I can still have a valuable opinion trying the makeup I'm interested in trying without having to try products that I really kind of know I probably won't like. Like there are just those certain launches that launch that I could tell myself like, I want to buy it because it's a new launch and I want to try it for you guys. But then when I really step back and think, I'm like, I shouldn't have bought that. I knew I wouldn't like it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not the type of makeup I use, or I don't have a place in my routine for that. That was the Smashbox Always On Cream Shadow. It's so easy to use. It is so easy to use. This is a shade Rose. My single shadows collection is wild. I mean, it's not wild compared to some people in here, okay? But for me, it's a lot. And so I wanna be way pickier about that. This is something that I feel like gets buried in there, but I love the tone of it. It's super easy to blend in. It's not like sticky. It stays really well. So that one, out of what we're keeping, I'll show you at the end what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of. That one I think I'm gonna keep. So my goals, like thinking, I share all of that to say, I'm trying to be more mindful of what is coming into my life of my own volition. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it that I'm buying and I really need to take? And a lot of you guys are like, okay, Jess, I don't care. I don't know. I'm just sharing my thoughts if you're interested. But I just want to be more mindful of that. You know, instead of in a Sephora order ordering 2 or 3 new concealers, just ordering the one of those that I really think I would like. Don't plan on letting go of the makeup piece of my channel. I just want to be smarter about it. And I really want to feel like I have control over what I have. So one thing I talked about is that my vanity that I have is where I sit and get ready, unless I'm here getting ready like on camera. But my vanity in my bedroom is where I get ready. And it has a decent amount of storage in it. And so I was telling my husband, I was like, I feel like I could take my entire Alex drawer system of makeup, which you'll see in the declutters. I feel like I could declutter my collection to the point where it all fits just in my vanity, and then maybe some here at work, of course, too. Because I think my days of having a collection like that are over. I don't think I need to have that size of a collection to be able to do my job properly. I feel like oftentimes anyway, products that I've had for years are no longer being asked about, or like my thing in my head every time is I'm like, well, I should keep it in case it's a dupe for something or whatever. But the reality is products that are like 3 or 4 years old and older, A, are probably expired, but B, those aren't the products that people are trying to find dupes for necessarily. So by me holding on to this hoard of lip glosses and blushes doesn't really make any sense if I'm using the logic of, well, I want to keep it to be able to compare. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of times if I'm doing a dupes video, they're dupes I've recently found. They're from the past like 6 months. They're dupes for newer products. And so I don't really need to be digging into my backlog of things that are older. My kind of motto will be just getting way less in, and being, instead of holding on to things that I know like I don't end up liking or loving, letting them go sooner. I used to hold on to things just to be able to do declutter videos. And I know that sounds weird, but it just is what it is. Like I would literally think, oh, I would try it on my own at home and say, oh yeah, I don't like this. I'm going to declutter it. I would put it back in my collection so that when I did a declutter video, I could show you that I'm decluttering it. And while it doesn't make sense, it does make sense. But I'm like, this is dumb. Like, this is dumb. If I do want to continue doing declutters, it won't be like it's been. When I do this declutter in a few weeks, it is going to be that. Like, we are done with the ginormous collection. We're done. I'm moving on to the next phase of my life. But I think if I ever had declutters in the future, they would just be like a basket of things that I have collected that I'm like, okay, over the past few weeks, these are things I've realized, like, I tried them. I really just don't like it. These are going to leave. And that's if I do that. So I'm trying to break the haul to declutter cycle as much as I can, considering what I do. Does that make sense? Like considering what I do still need to try on makeup. And so it's funny, I'll watch videos on this subject and I am fascinated by it too. I mean, I think a lot of us are guilty of it in our own way. I didn't grab a mascara. But at a certain point, like depending on what you do or what you're trying, it can be really hard to break that cycle perfectly. So I'm never going to be a perfect example of any of that kind of thing, of breaking the haul to declutter cycle. But I do think I want to be better. I want to be better and choosier and pickier. So I hope that shows through in the next year on my channel. And I hope you kind of get where I'm coming from and what I'm doing here. I feel like a lot of people that do what I do are kind of in the same mindset. Makeup is just really good nowadays. It's different than the way it used to be, where, you know, even when I first started my channel 15 years ago, I feel like makeup was very hit or miss. Nowadays, most makeup is pretty good. I mean, most makeup is good. Like, yes, there's still duds out there for sure. Literally trying on some that are, but you know what I mean. You can generally swing your arm around and grab a lip gloss at the store and it's probably gonna be good. This is not one this is just one I'm using right now, the Lancome. Is it the Hypnos or Hypnos Drama? Hypnos Drama. I like, but this is one I've been trying to get off the Lancome PR list and I cannot find who the contact is. This was one I got in PR and I wanted to retry because it's been years since I've tried the Hypnos Drama. And this was one of the earliest products I ever bought that was like high end, was this mascara. And so it holds a special place in my heart. And I do like it. It's not a favorite mascara, but I do like it. It has that, I got it on my nose. Of course I did. It has that very particular Lancome smell. Lancome mascara smell. Yeah, honestly, even looking at this foundation, the Estee Lauder Skin Tint, it's already starting to break apart on my nose. I just kind of feel like, I think I'm just gonna declutter it. So I hope this video is not coming across as like me being ungrateful for anything, because but I just like to be honest with you guys about where my mindset is on certain things and where my channel's going. And there's a lot of people that do what I do, and I think a lot of people are in the same mindset right now where it's just like, okay, enough. This is too much. It's too much. And so, especially since I have cut down so much on the makeup content that I create, it used to be that I was doing a haul and try on once, or honestly, like twice a month. And I was doing like so much makeup content. Now it's just a lot less because I do vlog a lot more and I do some lifestyle stuff a lot more. So I'm gonna powder my face because I wanna use a powder bronzer. So I'm trying the Lawless Perfecting Powder. It's talc free. I've made quite a dent in this, but it was a while ago and I'm like, I don't remember how I feel about it. I feel like it felt fine. Like it just wasn't really anything to write home about. It's not, I don't think, meant to have like a bunch of coverage. It's truly just meant to be like a setting powder, skin smoothing powder. It just looks like a powder to me. I don't feel like this is anything super special. So I'm gonna think about that one. So the bronzer, every time I've decluttered, I've always asked myself about this. Like, what do I do with this bronzer? Because I'm like, I think I like it, but then I'm never sure. I still have it. So today is the day we make the decision. I saw someone using this recently in a video and it looked so unbelievably gorgeous on her. So I'm like, okay. I just feel like it can look very orange on me, but I don't know. If you were seeing it in person, I feel like this looks pretty orange. Like, it looks okay on camera though, doesn't it? And maybe that's why when I saw it in the video, it looks good on camera, but I'm telling you in person, this looks incredibly orange. So this has to be me deciding it's gotta go. So this is the shade 2. I would be curious, I'm not gonna buy it, but I would be curious to try the number 1 because I feel like I did long ago though. And like, I don't know, because this is obviously not quite my shade. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Like I said, I am not a perfect example of this. I won't be perfect at it, but I'm just kind of curious all of your thoughts on the makeup space on YouTube. Like, do you find that you watch makeup videos as much as you used to? I think sometimes depending on what's going on in your life too. Like I go through phases where makeup is not at all top of mind. And then I go through phases where I am so into it. I'm following all the news, like I'm watching all the videos. But like right now, for example, I could not tell you the last like makeup video no, that's not true. I guess I do. But I'm very choosy, I guess, about the type of makeup content I watch. Maybe that's it. What are you like? Where are you at when it comes to your makeup watching? Like, are you still super into it? Is there certain makeup videos you're more drawn to than others? I am obviously drawn into makeup declutters because that's where I'm at mentally right now. Plus you get like mini reviews as you're watching them, which I like. Yeah, I'm sure there are some of you guys that love my declutter videos and you're like, no, but I promise I'll give you a real ultimate one here in a few weeks. It might be more than one video because I mean, we'll just see how it goes, but you're gonna get the ultimate one and you can just rewatch it if you're, I'm just kidding. But I just gotta move on. I gotta move on from that style of living doesn't make sense, but I just can't be consuming that much anymore. I really just can't. It's not benefiting my channel because I still will open my drawer. Like today when I was picking out products for this video, opening that lip drawer today and trying to find what lippy I feel on the fence about, I was like, there are so many lip products in here. If I'm looking for a lippy, I go to my purse because that's where my favorite ones are. And I use the same few of them on repeat. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, this isn't helping my channel. This isn't helping me review. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much even still. And so if I keep on, I guess this is the bottom line for me. If I keep on consuming makeup at the rate that even still I have been, I'm not really getting anywhere. Because yes, I'm reviewing the products I'm interested in, but it's those other ones that are coming into my life because I feel like I should buy them and try them that end up going into my collection and not getting used and then eventually decluttered, and around we go. And I'm like, I've got to get off this wheel. I really do. So I will be curious to see, like, even 6 months from now at what, like, once I've downsized my collection by like 80%, that is the goal. Once I've downsized it that much, and then I'm way more in tune with my makeup consumption, how that will just kind of naturally change my rhythm. So yeah, I'll have to update you, maybe come next summer and just see how we're doing. So the blush I used was the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush. And this is something that like actually looks really pretty, and it has been totally buried. So this is something I want to pull out and actually use, and the tone of it is pretty too. This is Pillow Talk Pink Pop. So I'm gonna keep this, declutter this. Gotta keep my pile straight here. I feel like I need a little more powder though. Like even still, I feel like the cheeks are looking a little, and I want to try a highlighter, which is kind of funny. So I want to powder it so I can highlight it, so I can see what the highlighter looks like. So this is the Ilia highlighter. I actually pretty recently bought, and this was a genuine purchase where I was like, I am curious about Ilia's powders because I've not tried anything from them in this range. So this is their Daylight Highlighting Powder, and I remembered using it for a few weeks and liking it, and then, well, honestly, I just don't wear highlighters so much right now. Yeah, it's got a nice sheen to it, like a lot. But this is the kind of product where I'm like, I only need a couple of highlighters like this, like maybe 1 or 2. And this looks really nice. Feels like a nice formula. Like this is like Christmassy to me, like a Christmas highlighter, you know? So yeah, this one I think I will keep, but I want to, when I get to the highlighter declutter portion, be really smart about what I'm keeping, considering I know I don't, at least right now, use highlighter very often. Okay, oh, I wanted to use the Sephora Clear Brow Gel. This one I know I like, but I'm like, is it still good? I think so. Just wanted to be sure. This one's not like a super crunchy hold. It's just, I feel like a medium hold, but in a good way. I like this one. By the way, the liner I use is the Melt Slick Waterline Eye Pencil. Holy moly. First of all, so far it is staying in the waterline really nicely. That was so easy to apply. I'm like, again, this was buried in a pile of eyeliners. It is so good, and I'm so glad I rediscovered it. This is the shade Cacao, and wow, if you want a deep dark brown, oh my gosh. So I want to try the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. I know that I like these. It's just been a long time since I've used it. I wanted to use it again. Kind of like a triangular shape. Definitely has kind of like that Play-Doh plasticky smell. Do you know what I mean? This definitely has that. I mean, once it's on, you're not gonna notice the smell, but this is a very much a like Pillow Talk-like color for me. And then these Hourglass lipsticks, I remembered liking, but I'm like, they're just sitting in there lost with all the other lipsticks, so I need to get an idea of how I feel. I'm gonna do, this is the shade Oasis. That's really pretty. That is really, really pretty. Definitely a little bit lighter than I typically go, but I feel like for a neutral look, that is a great shade. The other shade I have is definitely pinker. This is the shade Dahlia. But if I'm being, yeah, I'm like, if I'm being honest, maybe I'll just keep the one shade, but I'm like, oh, that is pretty. The lips are gonna be hard. That declutter is gonna be so long, you guys. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I really don't. We're breaking cycles, you know, we're making big changes. We're just growing up so fast. So that is that. I hope that this was helpful for you, whether it comes to just reminding yourself that, like, if you do have a larger collection, there's nothing wrong with that. But my point is really look through your collection and ask yourself, like, which of these products am I actually using? and being intentional? Or are there those products in there that you feel like I don't really know how I feel about that? Might be time to pull it out and rediscover it. Like I said, you might discover an amazing product in there, like this melt eyeliner that I had totally forgotten about. So if you're curious what I am officially decluttering, the Estee Lauder, the Physicians Formula, the Charlotte Tilbury, those are all going. I'm gonna try the Revolution a couple more times in my vanity, see how I feel. But again, it's also getting old. So, I'm gonna declutter the Lawless powder. I just don't feel like it's anything special. It's not really doing anything for me. And I have plenty of other powder I do like. And then I'm gonna keep the Smashbox Always On, the Anastasia Brow Pencil, the Pillow Talk Matte Blush Wand. I probably would have decluttered this if I had not retried it, because it's been so long since I've really tried it. I wouldn't have remembered, and I feel like this looks so pretty. Definitely keeping the Melt eyeliner, the e.l.f. lip liner. I like the shade, but I don't love the smell. So I guess I should just declutter it, huh? I mean, I definitely have, but I do think the product itself is really good. So if you can get past the smell, I'm gonna keep the Sephora Clear Brow Gel and the Ilia highlighter. I am going to keep the lighter shade I just put on, Oasis, and declutter Dahlia. I have a sister I am sure that will love that. I think that's everything we tried. So all in all, not like a terrible makeup day. I feel like, yeah, it all came together fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, I know that anytime you post something to the internet, especially when you're talking about something that can be kind of polarizing, I feel like oftentimes my intent or someone's intent can get misconstrued. And I hope that my intent of just being honest with you guys of where I'm at mentally when it comes to my makeup consumption and where I'm hoping that I'm heading, I hope that's met and understood in the way I'm hoping it to be understood and not misconstrued. I guess time will tell. But I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching me over the years. And to those that enjoy my declutters, I see you. I love you. I still love declutters. I will still be watching them, but you just won't be seeing them the way you used to on my channel after this next big hardcore declutter. So I want to thank, of course, Express for sponsoring a part of this video. If you want to shop any of the beautiful Express pieces that I tried on at the beginning of the video, I will have all of them linked, including my sizing info, whether I think you should size up or if it's true to size, etc. Right down there for your perusal if you are interested in checking any of those products out. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.